Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark the Wiz. It's Monday, so we're working on Pocket Fighter EX. And Pocket Fighter EX is a community-based game. It's not for sale. It is not endorsed by Capcom or SNK. Just a fan game by the fans for the fans. So, with that out of the way, we are working on more pixel art stuff today. And I'll get right to the point. We're going to be working on the Denjin Hadouken. Now previously, I guess I should show what we have currently. Not previously, but currently. We're going to get there. You see the little bit of energy charge in his hands when you hold down the button. So we're going to update that because it does not look like the Denjin from pretty much any of the other games. I don't know about 5, I guess I haven't paid too much attention to that. But especially in 3, the energy is not rounded because it's not Hadou energy normally, it's like an electric. So I've changed the effect to be more like an electric effect. And also, while he's holding it, his arms will shake. And that's something from Street Fighter 3. We'll go over that. Ouija Pie, welcome. You're just getting here. We just started, so you're good. You're good. Let me actually grab the footage that I took. I believe I took this off stream. In preparation. Let me find it here. Might be this one? Or is this the parry one? I did one with parries. Oh, I did electric effects. I was looking at electric effects here. I'll mute that because we don't need to hear Street Fighter 3's sound effects. We're listening to the soundtrack. Alright, so here when he does it, see how his arms shake? And then it's got a more like electric thing. So I've got another like electric lightning effect too that I'm gonna layer on top of it. So that was all, of course, missing in our version. Now, as far as making Ryu flash, we can do that too. I don't know if the code is gonna be there to support that right now, but at least we can get the effects here. So we've got this one, and we also have, oh, where is it? Is it under here? Did I put it here? I thought I put it here. Yeah, Denjin Hadouken Shock. So this is also going to occur around the hands. Now it's not in this animation because this is just for building the main spark here. And it's a pretty simple animation. It's just 2 frames, and then it corresponds with the arm positions. So we've got a few things to do there. Now, on top of that, I got a little animation bug in me this week. So I actually added. Oh no, this is just the without the spark. You see how the hands shake. Here, this one. I added another frame to the Hadouken because before it would go from this frame to this frame. So I added this frame in the middle. So otherwise, you'll see if I delete that, it just goes from here to here. So it's like full energy, no energy. And, it doesn't look terrible. But you can definitely see the difference between the two. You can see that sort of snap, almost like a frame skip or like something's missing. So instead, I added a little bit more to it. And I think it looks much nicer. So we've got all that stuff to tinker with and implement. So first things first, I guess we'll export this frame first. This frame is not in the correct palette, but that is okay. we will make sure that it is in the correct palette. We're going to load the palette, Ryu default, and the only thing we have to change here is changing the ID green, and that's to keep it from getting confused with the white of the gi, and you'll see that on the sheet. Then I can index it, copy it. We will open Ryu sheet, find the Hadouken here, somewhere here. Now, I'm gonna have to reposition a couple of these. Well, do I want to do it that way? On here, thinking I might. No, that's fine. We'll reorder them. On the actual sheet that I put into Unity, I may not reorder them this way. And the reason for that is because you have to redefine the sprites as they come in. I guess in this case, they're pretty much the same shape, right? So I might be able to get away with that. So if we go to sheets, I don't know if there's an anchored one. I may not have done an anchored one. It looks like I haven't, and that's okay. Now we gotta look for it. Ryu, H for Hadouken, I guess, right? Hadouken, here. You know, this was only a couple frames because, like, this one's reused. Then there was those 3 frames, and that was it. So, honestly, all we have to do here is load this palette, paste in the new one. Now we can, like I said, we can reorder these, so they're the same shape. I'm not too banged up about that. But typically when you add a sprite, you have to add it to the end. Otherwise you start getting really wonky with your sheet ordering. And because we're going ahead and doing all this anyway, I'm going to go ahead, whoa, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just redo the alignment here. It looks like it wasn't off by much. But I want to make sure it's as compact as possible. Okay, and remember we go 1, 2 out from there, and then line that up. Is that off? That looks off, yeah, that's off. And then we can size them right up to 1 away from the top. Oh, okay. Oh, and left. Now this will cause us to have to shuffle around a few frames in Unity, but that's alright. We won't be redefining anything, and that's the major part here. Okay, and that's it, and we reapply the grayscale. It's not a loop, say okay. And that's the end of that part. So, now, I suppose I need to pull over the folder here and find again Ryu Hadouken. Here. Now, if we go back to Unity, sprites, yeah, it'll be in here. So there's 2 steps to this. One, just replacing the file itself. The second step is going to be redefining the sprites a little bit to include that new frame. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is substituting the last frame with that new frame. And so all the Hadouken animations will look a little strange, and I'll show you exactly why. But then we'll have to go through each of the animations and then change how it looks. So, let's see. Ryu Hadouken? Okay, so you see that these boxes are kind of strange and off and whatever, and that's fine. That's what I expected to happen here. Okay, since these were defined long ago, going to smooth out their anchor here. So see, these sprites are already defined, and this one was actually this one. But we're going to put it over the top of this one. And so that effectively all it does is swap the image. And then we're going to make a new sprite over this one. And we're going to have to figure out where to put this. So this is these two, and then the two, and then the middle. Okay, so these two here, and then down, and drop it down. And that's simple enough. So you'll notice now that all the Hadoukens will stick in that half upward position. See? It's like suspended animation. And that's because we replaced the reference of the final frame with this new middle frame. So now we've got more to deal with. So it's the issue is pretty much that we just need to go into the Hadouken animation, each one of the sequenced animations, and then add that last frame back in. So if we do Hadouken light, we see here, boom, it goes to this, and then let's take a look at our reference here. Okay, we can close that one. I like the timing of that, it looks pretty good. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Okay, 112 milliseconds. Let's get your calculators out. I really wish that Sprite would just give me a way to say I want 60 frames per second and I want this to be 1 frame, 2 frame, or 3 frame delay. But they don't do that. So I think this is like 7 frames. That is not 7 frames. That's 4. So 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to assume this next one is going to be like 5 or 6. I'm actually a little surprised that it was that long. 64, so that's only 4. Because 32 is 2 frames, 64 is 4 frames. Just a lot of energy to burn off, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here, we change it from Hadouken to Hadouken 3. Or from 2 to 3. Frame 2 to 3. And that's it, and boom. So now, see how it looks. It might be a little slow. I guess as a bonus, you put it over the threshold where you'll see that as the KO pose, and that's cool. I like that. I like that it looks like that, and that's because it's here, right? Yeah. What is this one? Oh, that's the cancel window. So we could effectively shorten this. Let's say by 2 frames, and we'll make that like 3 frames, and we'll take a look at how that looks. Still looks a little slow. I mean, it doesn't have to be wicked fast, but it still feels like it's a little slow. That's a little better. Would Good Fighter go by and I didn't even hear it? Yeah, Good Fighter already played on the playlist, and I was so zoned out I didn't even process it. It's my favorite. I love Good Fighter from Second Impact and. Oh. So let's see. Do we still? Oh, yeah, we still get to see that for the hit, right? So, okay, and that one you don't. Okay, so we'll leave that there. I guess it's decent. Doesn't need to be too wild, you know? But yeah, all of them now are subject to this. But now that we've got a decent timing, we're gonna say that this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So if we go to Hadouken H or heavy, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes to here, and 1, 2, 3. Change this to this. Okay, and now heavy should be alright too. Yep. There. Much better than it just snapping back down. At least I think so. That's okay. So let me close a few of these, as it helps the game run a little smoother in the editor. It's easier to see. But yeah, no, I think that looks good. Gives it a nice little flow. And Hadouken EX. This one went quicker. We said, what was that supposed to be? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring that over to here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's for the EX. Alright, yeah. It's been bugging me ever since I put it in. I've just been too lazy to do anything about it until now, but I figured while we're doing all this Hadouken stuff, okay, and of course the super ones are still, did I call them super Hadoukens? Or did I do Hadouken super? Hadouken super. Okay, this is the second one, that's fine. I'm actually gonna change the way that this works too. I actually want to start the animation on this. So it's always big. And then it gets crackly, and then it goes. I think that'll look better anyway. Yeah. Okay, but our main focus here, of course, is this part. We're looking for the body sprite here. Here it is. And that lasts, again, for only 2 frames, so I'm going to do 3 or 4, and then 3. That's what we did last time. And cool. Oh yeah, we gotta make sure that the hitboxes don't get lost in the process. Okay, they look good. Sometimes when you animate older animation clips that were made in older versions of Unity, they get a little crazy when you start trying to edit them. Okay, so then Hadouken Super 1. This is the same deal. Body sprite. I'm gonna move it 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Add the new frame. And there it is. without the boxes. Yep, and there it goes. There could be a case to be made to keep the bandana more elevated for longer on those ones. But at least they're all consistent for the time being. We can tweak that later. Okay, I'm not gonna touch the Denjin ones yet because we've got other ones to do. So, and I might change how this works anyway. So the way this goes is that the charge and the Hadouken are actually part of the same animation, but it can be cancelled earlier. So at certain points where it says charge level 2, set level 2, at this point in the animation, and that's when of course the effect appears, right? At this point in the animation, if you let go, it will shoot the medium charge shot. And then if it gets all the way to this point, it just stops your ability to release early, and it does an automatic full charge here. But I think that I want to change that, so we're going to actually change the gameplay. So if you saw the go live notice, you might have seen it said gameplay change for the Denjin. Yes, we're going to change how that works. So to illustrate that, what do I want to do with that? Well, let's go back to the Holy Grail. You know where we're going. If it'll load. All right, where are you? 30th anniversary. Here we go. Hey, welcome. Yep, it's Monday, so you get another day. One more day of Pocket Fighter EX, Sprite working, puzzling over code, the whole shebang. Alright. There's a couple reasons I want to make this change, and the change is essentially allowing you to hold the charge longer. But it is going to take some code to pull off. It's going to take some code changes, so. If we do Denjin, oh, I guess you can hear it. You know why? It's because I unmuted it when I recorded it off stream. Let me just knock that one out. Okay. So did you see those flashes? 1, 2, 3. As far as I'm aware, you can let it go early without a charge. Charge once, then does what, 2 hits? Charge 3, does 3 hits. 2, 3. Now that's 4 hits would the last flash there. But let's hold it all the way. Oh, it actually does do 5, doesn't it? Okay. I was thinking that by the time the last hit, that you could let it go by the time the 4th charge came through. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Well, here was the idea that I had. Must be some kind of special bonus for holding it all the way, right? What I was thinking is, now KOF does this for sure. You can hold some supers, and what happens is it doesn't necessarily increase the damage or anything. It's just a timing thing. So what I wanted to do is to say, once you hit that last spark, that at any point that you let it go after that, it was a full charge. You're just holding the full charge for an extra moment so that you can set up your timing, fake people out, do all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, so I want it, so Yeah, in Pocket Fighter here, if you hold it, you have to hold it the whole time to get the full charge, but it's automatic. As soon as the full charge is ready, it just goes. But I was thinking, what if you added a little bit more of a timing to it, where you could hold it past the point of full charge, and it will just delay you firing it, but it gives you more of an option to kind of fake people out, and or like this. Like that's the intended use of it. You'd get the hard knockdown, and you get that. But under certain circumstances, there you go. See what happened? It went too early. Because it forces you to release it as soon as it's fully charged. A neat way to solve that issue would be, hey, what if I gave you like half a second to hold it beyond that charge? And it's up to you to release it early if you want to. Right. So it solves the issue of the timing trap that I came up with. It works most of the time, but if I time it like too early, it'll just go through them. So to fix that, just allow you to hold it longer, so it doesn't have to fire as soon as you get maximum. Now it looks like Third Strike actually does give you a bonus for going all the way. I imagine that most people can't wait that long to fake them out. I know you can beat on the controls to do it faster, but I assume most of them are going to release it on 4. Let's see what how much actual stun this does. Yeah, I'll put stun at normal. Yeah, okay, he's got stun. Oop. Yeah, and that's a full, as we expect. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so there you go. I don't think anybody is ever gonna wait for that extra hit, because look what happened. You got a stun anyway. On a 2, you get almost stunned. But, can I reset the... Can I go off? Okay, I guess I gotta wait for him to go back down. But you saw it, right? I didn't have to wait for the full charge. So, my misconception on this might have been seeing people playing the game, not waiting for the full charge, because it didn't matter. Well, you get a little extra damage, it don't matter, you already stunned him. That's your real goal with this. You just want to get that stun, right? And then you can do your thing. In Pocket Fighter EX, it won't stun all the way because you don't need to use meter to use it. So this increases the skill level of the Denjin, because if you want to release it as soon as it's completely charged, you have to know the timing. You have to visually look, you have to let it go as soon as you see that shot. Or you have to feel out the timing if you're really, really good. You got the muscle memory on it to get it like frame perfect. And there are use cases for that, because another use of the Denjin is this. But I guarantee you, if you let that go another like 2-3 frames before you let it go, that shit probably won't hit, because they'll hit the ground before you can get it. So you'd have to release it with extreme precision in order to pull this off. Now, right now you don't have to, because it's automatic. It just releases as soon as it can. But if it actually held it, and you had to release it on your own, you know what I mean? So that increases kind of the skill ceiling of the ability here, which I don't believe is necessarily a bad thing. Number one, because you'll get a visual cue, so with a little practice, you'll be all set anyway. But then it also helps in the other situation where you don't want it to hold forever. I messed that up. Like it got there, but remember that one time it went through. Well, okay. So if you timed it exactly right and you timed it as like the earliest hit possible, maybe even just by happenstance, you know, say you don't have frame perfect input and you just happen to hit it by happenstance and you buffer into your Denjin and it misses. You know what I mean? Like that'll hurt. That kind of thing. And who knows, maybe players will find another setup that requires them to use it, but it's hard to time like that because it goes through. It should not impact combo potential because you'll still be able to, you know, EX an immediate charge, and it won't change the timing of the charge here. It'll be only releasing the last one as early as possible. That's the only thing it'll change. I personally think that it would bring a little more depth to using it. And it would actually open up a couple other options. Sure, it makes some certain stuff harder, but it also makes other stuff possible. And I think that's the main thing to focus on. You want to make more possibilities. So we're gonna copy basically what goes on here. The first one, you're gonna have those 3 shocks. You're gonna have the first shock for just whatever, you know, to signify that he's charging. But the second shock will be his level 2 charge and pocket fighter. I'm talking. So you'll see one shock as soon as you start trying to charge it. And that'll signify, you know, that's just the level 1. But if you hold it, you're gonna get a second shock effect. And that means that this one's ready. And then the third shock is gonna mean that one's ready, the full charge. But it won't release right away, you'll have to wait and then release it after. This game is essentially Third Strike Alpha Pocket version. I'll take that as an extreme compliment. But yeah, the basic weight of combat. So like the amount of knockback and the hit stop and the hit stun values. I studied a lot of Street Fighter 3 to get that idea. So like when you do the Shoryuken, it feels really weighty and buffy and stuff. I took basically I studied like the amount of hit stop and like the flow, the speed of moves, and the speed of movements and attacks from Third Strike primarily. Now obviously they've been modified because, you know, you can't just rip the same timings from a different art style and have them explicitly, you know, work out with a different kind of sprite. It doesn't necessarily translate one-to-one. So I actually had to trim down the hit stop just a little bit, depending on the move. And then at this point, since I've gotten acquainted with that, I just kind of wing it. At this point, I'm not really referencing the values anymore. I've gotten used to what it feels like in Pocket Fighter's engine to what the hit stop should be for certain moves based on how they look and the damage they do and so on and so forth. So all that kind of combat weight, I don't want to call it like combat speed, but it's more like the weight of combat, like how hard things look like they hit, you know, kind of like the flow of the moves. All that was referenced off Third Strike first and foremost. That and the fact that there's no speed options. I chose one speed to go with. And of course, the like I said, the knockback is a part of that too. So being able to get like those 3 attacks, I kind of base it off of like how many, and I probably can't do this on keyboard. I put the controller aside. How many jabs can I do before I can do a close dragon punch? Might be able to get. Oh. You can do it with a crouching one. I think crouching doesn't push as far away. So I kind of base it on that. Now, obviously, like, the Shoryuken has a bigger fist in this art style, so you can actually get it off of 2. Where I think in Street Fighter 3 you can only get 1 jab before it will actually register. This is a little tough because I'm using it for a 4-button game. I can get away using the Xbox controller, but for a 6-button game, makes it a little weird. Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about holding forward in this game because the collarbone breaker is on medium. I just don't have medium in Pocket Fighter. Yeah, so it does miss, but barely. So I figured it's close enough in here for gotta stop pulling forward for a heavy one to reach, because it barely reaches. If you don't time it right, you're not gonna get it. Like if you do this and this, like this, I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, it would whiff. Don't worry about that extra hit at the end. That's a glitch on Unity's animator. It creates a phantom hitbox, but if I refresh it, it goes away. Don't worry about that part. It's just a weird Unity glitch. See, it's gone now. No more phantom hitbox. It's whenever I open an animation and actually scroll through it, and then all the hitboxes get a little weird. Ghost box, yeah, pretty much. So that was where I started, but again, like I said, I didn't just copy it whole hog. I did make some tweaks and allow some things that Third Strike doesn't, and stuff like that. But you can see about the amount of the hit stop, or the hit push, is pretty extreme. Like, look how far that he is now. Like you can do this as a 3-hit combo if you're good enough, but that's it. Like you'll notice that once you're doing this, like he's out of range of further lights, and so I took that into effect here, where yeah, 2 lights and you're basically out of range. But I took the idea of doing that combo, and then you can link medium, crouching medium kick into it, which is just down back heavy in this game, since there's only 4 buttons. So you see how Third Strike has heavily influenced everything. Now you can't get it off of here. So you have to start with the crouching light kick and then do it that way. But yeah, Third Strike's basically the Bible. We go back to Third Strike to answer any initial questions. And then if we don't like the answer, or we don't think the answer fits, we either modify it or we go to another example from a different game. So what I'm gonna have to do here, I think, just so I don't goof anything up, so we can go back and forth if we need to. I think I'm gonna copy the Denjin animation files here. We got this Hadouken early release and charge. We want to do the anims. We don't want the meta. Early release EX H L. I think the EX. Does the EX have? I don't think the EX has a different projectile. I think it's all the same. So if we go to hitboxes, not hitboxes, projectiles, right? Hadouken. So Denjin 1 is the normal one. Denjin 2 is the slightly charged, and the breaker stand in for guard breaker. That one, yeah, breaker EX used to be a separate one, but now the breaker is just the level 3. So we really only need 3 different releases. Of course, then again, we might not even need that. I got a better idea, actually. I've got me a better idea. We may still need 2 of these, but I don't think we need all 3. So I think what praise Third Strike. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 3S is just fun, and it feels good to play. Like, the weight of the moves feels very appropriate. It feels very, very sturdy, very weighty, very hard-hitting. A lot of their stuff. So that's why I go to it. Consider it kind of the gold standard. At least of presentation. I mean, you know, say what you will about the combat. I think it's good. It's not, you know, the only kind of game design you want for a fighting game, but I think the presentation speaks for itself. Especially for this kind of game. So what I'm thinking, if we have just one release animation, then we could say that, yeah, we'll do one release animation and we'll put code in that will select the projectile to fire, as opposed to having multiple release animations that are specifically coded to only fire one thing. I think that would make sense, because we are storing the value of how much is being charged. And then if we do that, yeah, then we should be able to just use one release animation and then have it call code that says, hey, if you're charged, not charged, use this one. If you're charged part of the way, use this one. If you're charged fully, use this one. And then fire that instead of specifically just doing it. I think that'll work. So what I want to do then is just copy one of these release. And I'm gonna say Hadouken Denjin release. Now the charges, do I need to copy the charges? Yeah, I guess we might have to. Well, not necessarily. Because of the changes I'm making to the command moves, we might not have to do different charge animations either. Except for EX. EX is going to charge faster. So I think we're just gonna stick with one for now. Let's see how it goes. So Hadouken, Denjin, charge. We'll do charge and release, and those will be the new names for these. Okay, so if we pop back into here, it will find these right here, and you see that they're just copies of the animations. And we're gonna have to plug those into Ryu. I copied them outside of Ryu, so now I have to import them into Ryu. It's kind of a workaround instead of having to do copy paste and all this other crap. I think I can just drag them here, and then they should now be somewhere here in the vast expanse of the animator. Yep, and here they are. Hadouken Denjin charge and Hadouken Denjin release. And so the other thing I want to do here I'm just gonna change these Hadouken Denjin charge. Oh, cap locks. Oh. And then we'll do one for release. There. And we're gonna make completely separate move files for these. So if this happens to goof up in some way, then we'll be able to revert it back. Well, it won't be random. So as you're holding down the button, Ryu's code will calculate what charge level you are. And so when you release it, it doesn't need a different animation to tell which fireball to throw. You can just tell Ryu's code, here's all the fireballs, pick the one that corresponds to the charge level required. And then to manifest that one, using one animation and a little additional code to make that work. I think that would be a more appropriate way to handle this. And then it'll be automatic. And if I wanted to add more charge levels or change what projectile goes where, or for what level, I can do that quite easily without having to alter. Or if I say I want to change frame data even more specifically, I don't have to go back and alter 3 different versions or 4 different versions of the release. I only need to edit one of them. Yeah, it saves on resources and also saves on editing time. It's just a smart optimization. So if you need to make a change, you don't need to make it 4 times, you just make it once. So here under Ryu, there should be a Ryu Behavior Controller here. Yeah, here. It looks like looks like they are here. So we want, yeah, it looks like these are here. We want to add the EX one as well. I think we'll be okay here. So let's take a look at those animations closely now. See exactly what they're doing. So if I go to Hadouken, we're gonna do our new ones, Denjin charge. The first thing that it does, I'll turn off hitboxes, we don't need to see those right now. It starts to charge, it loads the hitbox, and it applies the cancel. Oh, that's for EX override, yeah, that's for Kara cancel. Kara EX cancel, Kara tech, whatever you want to call it. And then, so here's open release window. So the earliest you can release is frame 9. So if you just hit it and don't hold the button, it will just transition to the release on frame 9. And, yeah, open release window. So the code must be inside here to release it, to do that animation change. Oh, character specific, yes. Alright, still loading. Alright, we'll let that go for a second. It's still loading. And then here we play the character voice clip for charging. And then we apply Denjin. Oh, this is the backdash cancel. Yes, this is the backdash cancel that comes into play. And then once we reach frame 20, you charge for 11 frames, then you get the level 2, and see how it sets it as a flag. So charge Hadouken, this should be loaded by now, yeah. Charge Hadouken level 2, says sets to level 2. We're probably gonna change this to a numeric, so it's like 0, 1, 2, whatever. No, I'm not coding any new characters until the GGPO is implemented, because I'm probably going to have to reprogram a bunch of the characters once that's done anyway. So there's no sense in doing double work by putting in a new character only to immediately have to reprogram them anyway. So no, that's why we're working on polishing other stuff for now. Yeah, so when it's when we fire a Hadouken, I think it's here, right? Update, no, it's update charge. Spawn Denjin light. Oh, okay, so these are just specifically. Oh, these are heavy and light. Okay, yeah, no, I guess I'm already kind of doing this in the code. We're just gonna take it a step further. Because the light and the heavy have different speeds. So yeah, see, it does say if you charge to level 2, then do that one. So we're just gonna have a charge to level 3. Yeah, GGPO is rollback netcode. It's the best rollback netcode currently. But implementing it requires huge changes to the engine and characters. So if I put Iori in now, I'm just gonna have to redo him, and then that's gonna be like a wasted month or 2 months of work that I'm just gonna have to spend another 1 or 2 months redoing, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna step on that landmine. Yeah, so here, if we go to definition, we can just, I was gonna make it a numeric, but I'm gonna be cheap and lazy. We're just gonna do it this way, right? So when we start, we gotta set it defaults. No, you know what? All right. I'll stop being cheap and lazy. I'm gonna just call it Hadouken charge level, and it's gonna be an integer instead, and it's gonna start at 0. Actually, just for readability's sake, I'm gonna start it at 1. And then when it reaches 2, we're gonna set it to 2. And we're gonna have a set level 3. We'll set it to 3. Okay. And then anywhere it's used, I think it's on used in 2 spots. So if it's equal to 2, do that. In fact, we want another one. If it's equal to 3, then we want to do the EX, which is probably not an option here. Let's say we're gonna do heavy. Oh, those are both heavies. Hold on. We're gonna do a heavy level 3 and a light level 3. Now they can be the same reference. They don't have to be the same thing. They can be different references. We can put the same thing for both of them. And then this is going to be equal to 2. Denjin's is the heavy, right? Heavy level 3. Yeah, because of this, we still need 2 versions of the. Still need 2 versions of the release animation, because one's going to be for the heavy and one's going to be for the light. The EX will just reuse the heavy, because they're going to be throwing them at the fast speed. I think would be, well, I mean, we could divide it again into a separate one. When I get the full changes done to the move system, we can tell it whether it was a light, a heavy, or Oh, excuse me. Whether it was a light, heavy, or EX. I'm gonna leave it the way it is for now, but we will change that eventually with code, just to make this go by quicker. I'm not gonna screw around with the move code. I could probably do it, but it would take a little while to get that code working. So we're just gonna kind of keep what we got going on here for the moment, and we'll probably just either hard set it to like a light or a heavy just to test. But you'll get to see it. It'll look pretty cool. And we got the Denjin heavy is level 3 light and heavy. And yeah, I think that's fine because we don't use different versions for the EX. We might in the future, but let's keep it quick here, and then we can get to actually adding the effects in, because all this is sort of a prerequisite for that. A lot of planning goes into the code. Okay, so now that we have a compile error. That's not good. What do we got? What's our compile error? Charge level 2 doesn't exist. Oh, this is the save state. Save state data. This is now an int, and it's just charge level. So we're gonna take the 2 off of here and the 2 off of here, and that's it. And that should solve that issue. Just changing the data there. See, that's part of the GGPO system, is getting the backup of the data and stuff. So parts of it are in there. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. And this determines whether or not it is charging or not charging. Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it by this, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to change that. I see why it's there though. Let's see. Is this ever actually referenced? Where is this referenced? Oh, this is the early release animation. Alright, we'll have to change these as well. I'm actually going to change these to animation name structures. But that's fine. That'll be okay. I think that should work. That should be enough. I do want to change these to variables though too. Yeah, it's gonna get a little hairy. It's gonna get a little hairy. These are hard coded into here. C-script must be hell? Not really. You get used to it, but it's a little complicated. So charge animation light equals new animation name. Oh, I already had the quotes there. And this is heavy H and EX. Assume it's just EX. Yeah. So we can pass these instead. Yeah. Light, heavy. I did these and I made these animation name quote unquote objects because they're a bit more efficient. The way the animation works, you can certainly reference everything by string, by name, by text for Unity animations, but it's actually not the most efficient way to do it. When Unity starts up, it takes all those animation names and it creates numbers based on them. because the numbers are easier and quicker to work with in code. So all I'm doing with these animation name objects is whatever you feed it, it just generates a number that Unity is going to want to use, and then it can look things up faster and change animations faster. So it's kind of like just caching that process in advance, because if you send it the text, what it has to do is it has to look at the text, create the number, and then pass the number onto Unity every single time that you ask for it. And, you know, it's not like it's going to grind your program to a halt if you do it a few times, but if everything that you're doing, if you're referencing dozens or hundreds of animations in a frame, yeah, it might slow down a little. So once I learned that, I ended up making that animation name object, so to speak. Okay. That should make that happy. No, we still have an issue. Oh, this is the data recovery off the load state. Okay, I should have expected that to come in. Now it should do it. So the other big difference here is we're going to transition to a quick release animation manually as well. Where is that now too? Because you're gonna have, well, here, let me show you. Sometimes this stuff gets a little complicated, and that's all right. But if you notice here, and we'll go to the old version of this animation, the Hadouken charge L. It charges, but it also has the release of the fully charged one on it. I'm going to strip that out and make it call the next animation automatically at that point. And then so it'll just call early release, quote unquote, Denjin, and then that will have code in it that figures out what it needs to fire. And that's it. So we don't need to have this at the end. This can just be part of it. Now let's see, if you do an early release, what does it do? What does it want to do? It does start attack to early release. Okay. So if these all happen to be the same animation, it'll just send it there. And then that animation will reference either this or this. Eventually they'll turn into the same thing again, because we'll have one animation. But for now, they'll just be, you know, what they are. Because with the new command move script, I'm going to be able to take custom actions, so I can interact with Ryu's behavior directly instead of having to go through the animation to set all these things. I could just set it directly from the time that the command move is activated and go to the Ryu animation, say, hey, you just started charging a Denjin. Get ready for that. And then the code can go through without having to have specific animations tied to it. Or you just fired a Denjin. Figure out what you need to do for that. So like where I got the light and the heavy, I could say in the command move, hey, Ryu Behavior, you're firing a heavy Denjin, or you're charging a heavy Denjin, or you're charging a light Denjin, or whatever, and then it can prepare for that, so I don't need variations of the animation. I can just inform it what extra parameters it needs, and it can make that decision in code. Might sound a little confusing, but it'll work, trust me. And this is a good test subject to try this new system on. That part we won't see today. That's going to be hours of scripting that's going to go into that. But at least we'll get the basic structure down here. Okay. So let's go to our new Hadouken Denjin charge animation, which is a copy of the other one, right? So let's take a look at what we got here. We got the Hadouken, charge Hadouken start. Oh, let's get in here. Load the hitboxes. Apply the cancel window. That's all fine. here. So he starts charging here. And at this point, oh, this is the startup of the animation. So at this point, if you're not holding the button, it will automatically release here, because it's flagging the open release window. If not, it'll start to charge. It'll play the charge voice clip, and it'll open the backdash cancel. And then when it reaches here, it charges level 2. When it reaches here, closing the release window, we might still need that, but we might also not need that. Because that was really only to prevent you from being able to early release during this portion of the animation. Yeah, we might still need that. And then here, apply cancel window preset. This is to end the Denjin backdash part, and that's okay. We can put that there, and then in the new animation, it will pretty much just end here. I mean, we're gonna give more time for you to hold that full charge, but it will pretty much end here, and everything else to the right of here is gonna be deleted. Yeah, because this is all the actual firing of the Hadouken, and we don't care about that. Let's see, this, yeah, so I just did this one explicitly. I didn't go through any code for that. So yeah, all right, let's just get rid of it. All this shit, we don't need it. And we don't need this here. Then yeah, technically it ends here, and this is where the charge happens. Now remember, we made a new function here. And let's see, this one was called charge Hadouken set level 2. We gotta look for that. Charge Hadouken start, open, close, set level 1, set, or level 2, level 3. That is level 3. And so these are gonna move out. Make sure this is the right one. Okay, set level 3. And this is the release window, and that. Okay. We can say that these are out here, it's fine. So this is what, from 20 to 45? We can give it another 20 frames maybe. So that would be up to 65, which is 105 here. We're gonna move this to 106. And this will be the cutoff of where we need to go. Okay. Yeah. But we could release early here, is the idea. And then here, do we do a continue animation? Continue. Continue attack. Yeah, we need an actual file for this. So fighter continue attack parameters. We'll go to command moves. Yeah, maybe not there. Where would I usually put those? Oh, here, yeah. I bet it's here. Okay, game, fighter, this is all custom stuff. Animation, continue attack. Where are we here? Command moves, fire move list, no. Animation, moves, no. Oh, sometimes it's easy to get lost in all this. Continued attack parameters. So this is Ryu Denjin release continue tech. Okay, and it just wants a name, so we said Hadouken Denjin release, and cannot turn before attack. And we'll just go back here and drag it in. Yeah. Okay. And then in our command moves, we want to check for, I like to check it here too. Denjin L. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to make a new move for this, right? So Denjin Hadouken L. We'll just change it here. It's fine. Hadouken Denjin charge. See, we can set the hitbox here. We don't need to set it in here anymore. So this here, where is it? Load hitbox data. Boom. Don't need it anymore. Because we've set it in here now. Animation stance standing. That's new. That's for my new system. I don't need to really change that right now, but it doesn't matter. Okay, special move. Okay, all that looks good. So this is going to like half work. I don't know how well this is gonna work here. Okay, no, it's fine. So we are doing, as far as I'm aware, we're doing the right animation here. Let's see if I change this just to be silly, just to make sure we're on the right one here. I'm gonna change this to that pose. And it'll show that for a very long time. We'll make sure we got, yep, it's the right one. Okay, and so you see, it is continuing on. It is the throwing of the Hadouken is no longer a part of this animation, but it is continuing on now. You missed the whole implementation. So it doesn't have a, a pooled object for level 3. That's why nothing comes out, I believe. So we just need to add that. So we do need to stop the game for this to work, because this has to save into Ryu's data. So Denjin 3. That's a hit spark. Denjin level 3 spawn. And Denjin level 3 spawn. They'll be the same object. And because of a glitch, I have to erase all that cached object thing, and I haven't fixed it. Okay. There it is. So now that code works. It's going through here and it's saying if you're charge level 3, do the level 3. If you charge level 2, do the 2. If not, then do the level 1. So that is working now. We got all that done. Now where it's not working is you can't early release it. And I believe that comes down to these here, because the light animation is not the right one anymore. So okay, yeah, there's this one. So this has to be Hadouken Denjin release. And this is Hadouken release L, I think. Well, we'll make them both. It's fine. We're not going to use the other one eventually. So they're all early releases. And then charge L. Okay, and this is what we got to do. We got to change this one to Denjin charge. That's the new name. And maybe it'll work. Yep. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I did the wrong one. Yep, no, it looks like it works. Yep. Yep. Okay. We did this in editor mode, so we've got to copy these over into the saved version of Ryu. So release, 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 charge. Yeah, honestly, let's just do them all. There. All that stuff's good. Again, I gotta erase these cache objects. That's okay. So now we have the functionality of what we wanted. You can, if you want to, hold it longer. Or you could let it off quick. It is working. It's working! Okay, and just to kind of top it all off here, we're gonna go down to Hadouken release. We're gonna make that change that we changed before. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. Here, to get the new animation in a new frame we did. Okay. Yep, and it works. Okay, now the fun part. We get to put in those extra effects, right? That's what we've been building up to. Now we can finally do that. I know it's a lot of work. With game dev's a lot of work. Sometimes it sucks. But you gotta get through the boring parts to get to the fun parts. Alright. We're gonna do... We need new frames here. We need 2 new frames of animation. And then we need the new effects here. So I've got the level 3 and the level 2, and then the level 1 will just be nothing, but it'll be like a little spark. So once you see it, you know that you've got the partial charge. And then once you see the big one, you know you've got the full charge. That's how it'll work. Okay, first things first, we need to get these onto the Ryu sheet. Whoa, what happened? What the hell was that? What happened? Why did it do that? What is going on? Alright, we're gonna save this and close this. And open it back up. That was a little weird and scary, so... Okay, I think we're all set. So, oh, you know what I know why it did that. I know why it did that. I copied the frame, I think, down here, instead of doing it as a selection. Alright, and so we've got these here. That's frame 1 and frame 2. Slightly different arm positions. It did it again. I want to copy this. See how it highlighted this and I hit copy? I don't want that. I want to copy this up here. That's where it's getting screwy. Okay, save that. Just like we did last time, we're going to pull up Ryu's Hadouken sheet here, which now has more to it. We're going to add even more to it. So let's load. I like this one. Gonna load that, copy them over. Gonna make sure they're the same palette first. Okay, so that's together. 1, 2. I'll bring them down. 1, 2. Get it as close as we can. There we go. And just cut it off. Gotta load back the grayscale scale palette. That's how the Unity, well, We developed the system. I was gonna say the Unity palette system. There ain't no Unity palette system. We did that shit from scratch. But that's how the system works. They're grayscale when they go in. That's how it detects what the different colors should be. And then it ends up replacing them on the fly. Which, by the way, I did program a partial palette effect editor. Like last time, if you were here, where are we here? I pulled one up and I'm like, oh, I actually can't edit any of these. I never made an editor. I made a partial editor. So if we got time at the end, I'll show that. Yeah, there's no palette stuff in Unity. That's that one was, I had already figured it out in C++, so we just kind of took the theory and implemented it in a Unity way. So I have to give shout outs to AJ for that. He helped a lot with that. Pretty much did the whole thing based off the initial design I had. I made an old platforming engine. I was thinking about doing a Castlevania fan game at the time. And of course it needed palettes on the sprites, so, you know, to do all the nifty effects. So I had already developed the tech for that back then. We just migrated that over and now it's here. And I'm fumbling, trying to find Ryu H for Hadouken. Hadouken. Yeah, here we go. ABC 1, 2, 3. I gotta get my ABCs. Okay, so this is gonna be an X of 22, right? Okay, so we're just adding frames here, essentially. And then custom X of 22. And then here, custom X of 22, which that looks right. And there's the additional frames. Now, let's see, what did I time these things to? Oh, let's save this. Oh, those are in there. We'll get to these in a bit. And we're getting there, little by little. So they were, yeah, I think they're 2 and 2. Yeah, they're 1 frame each and they're 2 frames duplicated. Okay, so at least in that editor, I thought that they should be two frames of shaking. So if we go back into, we'll use animations. My brain's trying to keep it all straight. It's stuttering and skipping. Hadouken Denjin charge. Okay, so we said that this is where the early release window occurs, which means that this is where the sprite's gonna start to shake. I think I can get rid of that, yeah, and then that all stays. So we're gonna, this is the first frame. Wait, hold on. This is where the early release. I must have screwed that up too there, but that's okay. I was gonna say, I don't think this should be showing yet. Because it shouldn't be showing until here, level 2. That's fine. I'll change the effect in a minute here. Oh, you know why? It's because I just moved that one over. That's fine. Because this is what? Null? This is a null sprite at first? Yeah, and then it turns into the effect. Okay, so the effect actually starts here. That's fine. Okay, here, this is what we're concerned about. And we want to change this to the new Hadouken. Oh, they're slightly off. That's not good. Let me let me address that. Here. These sprites are not correct. All right, let's visually look. It's gonna be after the first double from the right. It's gonna sit right there. So one of these or both of these are wrong. That one looks right. That one's wrong. That's what it was. Oh, get pixels. And here. That one's correct now. Okay, crisis averted. Now it should animate properly because the anchor is in the right spot. Okay, go back to it. Hadouken charge. Right here. Boom. We said 2, right? Here. So it's gonna go from 4 to 5, and they're gonna go back and forth with each other every 2. All the way to the end. And then this will show the shaking in the arms. And we don't need that last one. So, there you go, see? See? And it just adds a little bit of extra, like he's struggling, like he's really pulling it out. See? Not only does the bandana actually fall down this time, yeah, it just looks cool. Now we don't even have the right effects in yet, and we're gonna get there. That's the next step. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I think the 2 frames oscillation is good for this. So the next order of business is getting this stuff. Yeah, exactly. So now it's gonna look more like an electric flashing kind of thing here. So we can export here. Yeah, Denjin level 3 effects. This can be a ping, it's fine. Oh wait, no, we want to do, sorry, not that one. We want to export sprite sheet. It's a little different. We're gonna say Ryu Denjin Hadouken level 3 charge effects. Say okay to that. We only want this one. We want to merge duplicates and ignore empties. We're gonna size this down ourselves, so it's not too. It doesn't matter that it's all spaced out and stuff. Now if we do the export for level 2, same deal. We're gonna call it the level 2 and export. Now again, it's not going to be exactly, close some of these windows. Alright, we don't need calculator anymore. We're just gonna have to go back here, animations, and here they are. So we're just gonna make them small. We don't need them to be super huge here. Okay, so this is 1, 2, as close as we can. And that's that. And then just size them down. Ta-da! Save it, do this one, 1, 2. And size it. Okay, make sure it's 1 on all sides. Boom. And we just import that shit right in. So both of these, throw them right in the unit. I still can't find that sprite I did in Pocket Kazooie. It was such a long time ago, it's probably not very good. But I would still like to find it, you know? Oh, let's get both of these together. You can highlight both of them. They are multiple sprites, they are 10 pixels per unit. I'm gonna do full rect, no physics, shape, no filtering, and no compression, because that makes pixel art look like garbage. It looks centered properly, so we'll do that. Looks centered, okay. There's one online, it might be mine. Send the link, put it in Discord, let me see it. Or put it right here, either way, I guess it don't matter. So these are gonna have to be a custom. Do I want to base it off of this? Yeah, that's a decent offset. So I said what? Yeah, the bottom here. Yeah, it might be alright. We can adjust it if needed. Okay, so now those two are in there. And we can just add them right in. Send it to the server. Alright, let me take a look. Let's see, number 4. Let's see. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably not mine, but let's see. Nope, that's not mine. I dare say that mine probably looked a little better than that. That one ain't mine. Nope, nope. Good find though. Alright, windows are back in shape. Okay. So if we go here, Hadouken charge again, wherever it is, Hadouken Denjin charge. Okay, so here is where the level 2's got to show up, right? And we do have a sprite here for that. We're gonna change it. So Ryu Hadouken Denjin charge level 2, 2-1. What's that one? Yeah, no, we don't need that. And we'll do the same thing. We'll oscillate it on 2s. Denjin charge 2. And that will go all the way up until the 3rd. So paste that there, 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 there. And then here is where the level 3 charge comes in. Level 3 charge 1, space it by 2. Level 3 charge 2. Get rid of that. The reason that's showing up is because my script is making it flicker. And so it sees the change in the property and it's like, oh, you're animating this too? And it's like, no, not really. Boom. And there it is, baby. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at it go. Oh, is this still making noise? There it is. See? Once you see the big one, you can let the full thing go. Boom, that's the full charge. But you can hold it a little longer. Now my fear here is I think that the animation is, if I let it go, I think it's actually getting one frame of, yeah, it's getting one frame of the bandana down, but we can fix that. That's not a huge issue here. See? It just takes a little bit, and then everything starts to fall into place. So all I need to do is to move this over by 1. And then that shouldn't be an issue anymore. I think it worked. Now we still have the lightning effect, so we're not done yet. But I think it looks pretty good. I can't do it with the heavy. The heavy version's not the right animation yet. Boom. See? And then now we don't get the, I don't think we do. We don't get the bandana falling down for a single frame. Here. I let go of the button already. Yeah, okay. It looks good. Looks good. Okay. That's good. We're gonna save that. And now, the second part to this, the lightning. Now this is gonna be, I'm gonna have to, did I already animate this? Let's see. Did I do the Denjin lightning? It does not look like it. We're gonna animate this real quick. No, just copy one frame. Because I'm not really sure how this is supposed to animate. But if we line up the frames and look at it, obviously we can figure it out, so that's what we're gonna do. First, we're just gonna roughly lay them out. We'll turn on the, oh god, that makes it really confusing. Alright, we'll just cycle through. Actually, it looks pretty cool already. Yeah, that alignment's not bad. I would say that this probably has to move over. Yeah, right? Yeah, 1. That looks about right. Hey, that was a pretty good guess, right? Just like bzzz. And it'll flicker and stuff, of course, in the game. Let's take one frame. Yeah. Well, there we go. We got our sprite sheet, right? Easy peasy. Alright, we'll call it Denjin Hadouken Shock Effects. Yeah. Charge Shock? Yeah. Okay, we'll call it Charge Shock. Say okay. Merge duplicates, ignore empty. All visible layers. And it's ping, right? Yeah. Export. Oh, you know what I should do? Yeah, hold on. I should export a special. Wait, what's this? What does this thing do? Layer anchor is discontinuous. Discontinuous. Preferred link cell. Oh, okay. That actually might help here. So I'm going to put a dot here. Link these. So now we can see, you notice that there's the dot there, we can align the effect that way. So let's save this first as Ryu Denjin Charge Shock Effects. Yes. And we'll re-export this. It will have a blank frame, but we're just going to remove that one. Love that deadly theme. Alright, and then same thing we did before. We're just going to line these up. Now the anchor here is so that we can figure out how to actually animate this in Unity without having the extra space around the effect here. Now we just pop back to Unity. And throw it in. And I should have put Ryu on that. So we're gonna get rid of that. Put Ryu's name on it. Ryu Denjin Hadouken Charge Spark. And likewise here. Close that. We don't need that one either. And we don't need that one either. We're going to change where is it now? E is for Denjin. Where is it not in here? Where did it go? Did it go in effects? Ugh. Where did I save this damn thing? I can't tell what the should just say Denjin, right? Or did I pull that from the other folder now? Now I don't even know. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Yeah. It does say Ryu Denjin though. Maybe I typoed it here then. Yeah, I guess I just typoed it when I exported it. It already says Ryu Denjin. Okay, that's fine. We're good. We have the right name now, I believe, and charge shock effects. Here we are. Okay, same thing we did before. 10 pixels per unit, multiple, full rect. The reason I choose full rect is when I do tight, sometimes some of the pixels off the sprites disappear, and that started to happen in Unity 2019. Maybe it's better now, I don't know, but I had never turned them back on. For this kind of game, it's not going to make a big difference anyway. It's only uniquely because it's pixels. Custom pixels. Oh. Uh-oh, did I create a fourth? Did I create a fourth? Oh, no. I think we're okay. Well, we'll find out soon. I think I do top left alignment. As long as they're all consistent, it's fine, pretty much. Okay, no filter, no compression. Now that we have the version aligned, we do not need the anchors anymore. So I just pull these in and I just kill them. Boom, 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 done. Save it. Now what we have to do is we have to replace the file in Windows here so that it will replace it instead of trying to create a new asset with the same name. And see here, the anchors have stayed, but there's no longer that dot in the middle. It served its purpose. We do not need it anymore. I don't know why I bothered playing it. We've got to set up a new effect. Because these are going to run asynchronous of Ryu's animation. So it actually has to be like, kind of like the hit sparks are an effect. They have their own animation. We're going to be doing that. So, under Hadouken here, do we have an effects? I guess we don't have an effects. I'm going to make a new folder, Denjin, charge, shock, effects. And we will look down here to the effects folder to get an idea of what kind of thing we're going to need to do here. We don't want to hit spark necessarily. The dust effect would be a good one. So we're just gonna pull this in here. It's fine. Then we're gonna go back to this one, pull it in, and say we want an original prefab, and we're gonna change it to Ryu Denjin charge shock effects. Oh, and I typoed that. We're gonna get rid of that one, and we're gonna open this and take a look at it. It was actually quite complicated, this one. Okay, just taking a look at what's here. Normal effect settings. Yeah, that should be okay. We could randomize the X and the Y. That would be alright. Then the sprite itself. We don't want the dust, but we want the Ryu Denjin charge shock effect. Okay. And this is 000. That's good. We don't want any sort of special offset. This needs to change to sprite. I'm just keeping them all on a custom material in case I need to change it at any point in the future. Reset that. We don't need that offset at all. And then we're going to remove the animator here and then create a new one. And we're just gonna call it Denjin Shock. It doesn't need the full name here. So here, sprite has to be that one, and that one. Thinking what I might do here. I might add another frame here. And that's just a dark frame. So just a black frame. I don't know. I'll let it go first. I want to see how it looks. But I have a feeling that I'm going to want a black frame here. And the reason for that is mainly because... Oh, what happened now? Oh, whoops. Oh, no. Undo that. I'm sorry, I was in the wrong thing. If you do a black sprite, like a black silhouette sprite... Oh shoot, did I do it on the last one? I did on the last one. That's okay. I can rebuild it. If you do a black sprite first before you do a light sprite, it'll look more like an intense flash. So I might want to do that. So 2 frames there, 3 frames there, 4 frames there. That might be alright. that should be all right. And we'll close that. So now we need to create a sprite pool, or a pooled object. So object pooling, object pool. Yeah. So pool first. So Ryu Denjin charge shock effects pool. It's going to use this game object. I'm gonna give it a 4. We'll do a pool size of 4. Expand it if you need to. Report an error if you have to. And an object spawner. So pulled object spawner. So Ryu Denjin charge shock effects spawn. And that's going to take this pulled object. And now here we're just gonna have to guess and check. See what we get here. We want the spawner position. World spawn at world position? Or object, let's see, object offset. Local. I'm gonna say it's probably 1 up and then like it might be 1 up, 1 to the left. We'll see what that looks like. No rotation. Default parent to default spawn parent type spawner parent. Spawner. Yeah, we'll do spawner parent. Yeah, that might be all right. And so all we're gonna do now that we've built the effect, we're gonna go into the animation and then add points in the animation where the charge should come out. So Hadouken, Denjin charge. We want to do one right away. So we want to do one right here. So spawn object from preset, spawn pooled object from preset. Ryu Denjin charge shock. When it reaches its second, spawn pooled object from preset, same thing. Ryu Denjin charge shock. And then when it's charged all the way, again, same thing. And this sort of mimics what we see in Third Strike. Theoretically, it should work. We'll see. Okay, there. You see the spark's not in the right spot, but it does show up. Right, one right away to let you know that it's charging at all. Also, it should show it anyway. Yeah, when you just do a normal one, it still shows it. But it is in the wrong spot. So we need to go to spawn. And I think what it is, I need to make it a negative. Yeah, I think I need to make it a -1. Okay, yeah, that gets it in the right spot that way. But we do need to bump it up higher. So let's say 2y. It's close. It's close. -1.5. No, the normal one doesn't. Well, if you do the uncharged one, it still has electric because it's got an electric effect to it. So you can see that. But the charge also definitely has it. So I think it should go a little farther. Maybe like a 1.8. Take a look at it close up here. Oh, that's much better. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. And with the hands jerking. Wait, that was the wrong word, right? With the hands going and the lightning and the effects here, I think it looks really cool. Okay, yeah, that's right. The heavy is broken. The heavy doesn't work right. I have to use just the white. I think it looks really cool. It's not randomizing the X and Y, but that's alright. I'm not sure why it does or doesn't, but so I'm gonna move it back to -1.7. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. That looks cool. I think what I'm gonna do is move the initial spark a bit back. I'm sorry, Hadouken, not Denjin, Hadouken, Denjin. So, was it this one? Yeah, that's the shock. I'm gonna move this to here. And that'll at least space them out a little bit, I think. Yeah, because there, and that looks more like his hands are charging. You don't see it persist after he throws it forward. You just see it for that split second. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. So the only effect left here at this point would be to give flashes during the 3 charge segments. But I don't have the code to support that right now. But it looks cool, I like it. So what I will do though is I am going to actually increase the time you can hold it. Where is it? Charge? Okay. So I'm gonna actually add 20 frames to that. And that should be easy enough to... Oh, that's my typical times up. I'm just using that to kind of keep myself in check today, but we're not going to stop right now. So don't worry about that. I've allotted myself time. I've realized that I'll never stop when these things go off. Oh yeah, that's better. See, I can hold it. So you can hold it a little longer. There, and then you can just time it. Oh. I'm gonna set him to always guard here. Oh, yeah, the heavy one is still busted because it's calling a different animation. But that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that right now. The same thing with the EX is also calling the old animation. So I'm actually letting go, but it won't let me do anything but fully charge. It's the light one that's got all the nifty Fred of the Star, hello, what's up? Yeah, look at that lightning effect, that looks good. It's not too distracting. I think I'm not gonna put the black frame on it because it might be a little too distracting otherwise. Nothing much, just chilling. That's pretty much what we do here. Saw a glitch, so I'll have to take a look. Yeah, see the sprite ends up showing the full charge for some reason right away. Let's see if we can fix that. It would work. It would just pull it. So what I mean by the black frame here, just to get the point across, I would just take this one and actually, yeah, no, that's fine. What did I say that this was going to be 2 frames, right? So that's 32, let's say 64, and 112, just for the heck of it. And this is going to be my black frame, right? So this is going to be only 16. You want it to be very quick. And I'm going to make this one 500, so it'll animate like this. So what I mean by the black frame is if I crank up the tolerance here and choose black and do this to this makes this one flash more to the human eye. See how you kind of like see it in there? I hope you can see it. Yeah, the Marble 3's going on. Yeah, I can't watch it because I'm stuck here streaming, but yeah, that's the big event going on right now. Alright, so see how you get that extra. Let me put it on its own layer too. So let's see, spark and black. I'm gonna cut this and paste it here. Oh, it's not gonna. There, is that better? Does this work? Oh, what happened? It screwed it up. Well, I'll just repaint it. It's fine. I'll repaint it. Okay. So you see how like it like creates a void first and then flicks to this. So like you get that extra little flash before it goes through its animation. So look at that. Look how that works with the black. And then I'm gonna take the black away. And see how it doesn't shine as much. I'm going to put the black frame back on. And you see how it flickers in your eyes? Yeah, you see? It does make a subtle difference. I don't think that it really needs it because it does draw more attention to itself if you do that. So as we've implemented it here, I think it's fine. I don't think it needs to have that. Because you don't want to draw too much attention to it. Let's get him guarding. So I do that for like hit sparks and stuff. You'll see if I slow this down and hit him, you'll see the hit spark actually shows. I think this one does. Yeah, so this is the block spark. First there's a black frame. Then it's the bright, and then it goes through its animation. So I do that on most effects. But in this one, it's not really the star of the show. It's not the most important one. So I'm not gonna put it on that one. But I might if, well, it's not an if, but eventually we're gonna have to make the electricity show up on the opponent. The person who got hit by it is going to have to, if they actually get hit by it, it's going to have to show them being shocked. I haven't figured out exactly how I wanted that to look yet, but I think that effect is going to be part of it, where that'll show over the body. And in that one, maybe I might want to do the black frame, but for this particular one, I don't. So let's see if we can fix the full charge showing up right away. Hadouken Denjin, full charge. Okay, so when this sprite comes in, oh, you know why? It's because I was goofing around and I put that there, I think. No? Okay, hold on, I can still fix it. It was multiple problems. It was both of those things. It was because I had that extra frame, and also because this wasn't set to none. But now it's set to none, and it should look proper now. So let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. Yep, see how it grows? Starts with nothing, but then it grows, and then boom. Yeah, that looks cool. I like it. Oh, definitely looks better. Now again, you don't need to charge it all the way. You just got to get to that spark. Because when you see the biggest spark, the third lightning bolt, 1, 2, 3, you got it. 1, 2, 3, you got it. And then you've got the guard breaker. So it's up to you to time it if you want to time it tight. You can hold it longer if you want. But you can time it to your liking. Let's see. I gotta take him off guard here. There you go. Oh, I did it a little too slow. Oh, wrong button. No. 2, 3, boom. And then you got him. I've seen a couple times with the combos you're showing to make it a little flashy. Yeah. Yeah, you could do shit like this. Oh, yeah, that looked cool. Oh shit, that looked really cool. Oh. See if you do it in the corner. Yeah, you can get the Shoryuken after. Yeah, actually it looks better than I thought it would, to be honest. Actually, it's really cool. Let's see. Do it in the corner. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's looking cool. Oh, gotta make sure not to do the heavy one. Now these are the light ones, so they are a little small or a little slower. The full charge will go as fast as it can all the time. Yeah, even when because it sparks even with the uncharged one, it looks really cool. It really looks like it really signals, oh yeah, this is a different move now from the normal one. Because the normal one's like this. It really gives you an idea that, oh yeah, this is a different move entirely. So the trick now would just be getting the other versions to work. Yeah, a lot of the inspiration I take from some of the moves is from Marvel. It just looks really cool, you know? So, trying to think. I don't think what moves I really did. Oh yeah, for like I added a blue shockwave when you do Hadouken EX. So the normal Hadouken, it doesn't have the blue shockwave, but the EX one has this like blue shockwave on it. And that's something more like Marvel would do. And then the Shinshoryuken also has those blue waves on the bottom. Or like Street Fighter 3, they didn't have that. Nope, that's a miss. Let's get a little closer. Oh, too early. Too early. You launched. Ooh, there you go. Boom. You see those blue waves. Yeah, I love all the effects work that they did in Marvel. The flashiness, the big effects, all that stuff is really cool. Now, obviously, some restraint has to be taken care of, because it's not, you know, it's not a Marvel game. It's more like a CVS2 kind of thing. So I keep myself restrained, but I do take cues from Marvel. Marvel just threw shockwaves on everything, or made everything bigger and flashier. Yeah, pretty much. And that's also why, like, I have the giant Hadouken here. Like, sure, I could have just used that one for the level 3. That would probably have been more appropriate to Street Fighter Alpha in size, but I said, you know what, screw it. We're gonna use the big one because it looks cool. It's giant. It's giant, it's flashy. Yeah. Exactly. So all the supers do a screen flash. Sometimes you don't see it in the editor because the editor runs a little slow, but in the release it absolutely does. Let me actually just build a release build so you can see all the flashing and the flickering at the proper frame rate. Do the test stream one. Flashy intensifies. Yeah, exactly. And that's, I think a lot of the games have lost that now. So you don't, they just don't look as cool. There's not enough flash, there's not enough style. And I want to bring that back, you know? That's why we spend 2 hours animating a lightning bolt. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 added a lot of dust effects, yeah. I tried to add a whole bunch too. It really makes a difference. I'm gonna have to animate some more dust though for different situations. Come on, build it here. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know if I have music on or not. Mouse out of the way. I have not played Astro's Wrath or Shura's Wrath or however you say it, but I have seen some of it. It actually looks like it's stuttering here too. I might just have too much shit open. for it to perform right, but we'll see. See how it goes. I'll be able to tell if it looks a little choppy. No, in match it looks alright. It's alright here. I know it's chopping a little. I probably just got a lot of shit going on. But yeah, you can see it better here. Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm getting a lot of chop. Let me close some stuff here. And maybe it'll help it out a little bit. I think things are getting a little too dicey. Oh, you know why? Because I got the other game open. Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Alright, let's close this. Let's close Photoshop. Yeah, let's close Sprite too. Okay. Maybe we'll get a little better performance when we stop playing 3 games at once. Yeah, okay, that looks a lot better now. But yeah, so we're looking at now this one. So yeah, you can see how the lightning flickers and flashes and all looks really cool. King's Court? What's King's Court? What do you mean King's Court? Are you talking about the Court of Lions? This one, Court of Lions from KOF 98. Oh, the Thailand one. Yeah, I tried to do that one. It's kind of a work in progress. It doesn't look too great right now. I thought you meant this one. Yeah, I can show you that. I can show you that stage. It's incomplete though, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think you're talking about Thailand. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's incomplete though. It's not. There's just not a lot of detail to it yet. I don't like the way it's come out, and I'm not really sure, to be honest, what to do to it to liven it up. I mean, this is just kind of how it looked in Street Fighter Alpha, but the stages weren't quite as wide in Street Fighter Alpha, so I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about it, about including it, because I'm not really sure what to do with it left. Or yet, or next, or whatever. Whatever English word was appropriate for that situation. I mean, yeah, sure, you can add cameos and stuff, but there needs to be an interesting set piece. So like what I was saying in the Discord about having a layout, there's nothing interesting to look at. You need to make sure that has to be kind of like a set piece in every part of the stage. Like here, what is there interesting to look at? There's really nothing. Even if we added a character here, okay, sure, but like the sky is like empty. It's just a blank field. Like you have to have something here that's interesting to look at. I just don't know what that would be. Like obviously the interesting thing to look at over here is the statue. So this side, the right side's all set, and the center's all set because you have the set piece of the statue and the perspective of, you know, all the perspective kind of points to the temple here and that kind of stuff. But when you look at the left side, it's like, yeah, you could put 3 characters here, but it still doesn't change the fact that there's nothing interesting to look at beyond that. So it makes it a little difficult. When the stage size was smaller, I could get away with it because you basically would just see like up to here, and then still there's a little blank here. You maybe fill something in, but you still had the statue. But here it's like it's just gone. Like it disappears off the side. It's so inconsequential at that point of view. So I mean, Street Fighter Alpha, you look at the stage in Alpha, it wasn't designed to be this large, so there's nothing over here. It's just blank. And I actually drew these trees based on that. They weren't actually in the original version I adapted here, but you know, what do you do with it? It's tough. Let's get him to not that auto guard. Yeah. If you're gonna do all that work onto the stage, you might as well do an original stage or pick a different stage. The only interesting thing about the stage is that it had 3 versions: day, evening, and night. Yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm stuck here. I'm gonna have to figure out something really big to add to it, or just kind of abandon it. I mean, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, then you just don't use it. I got another stage too that I put in, and it doesn't really work in its current form. This one. I still don't think a crowd would work, because you have an uninteresting skyline still. That's the biggest problem with it. So we've got this stage, but I don't like the way the cars animate. And I need to layer each tree to, for the layering to work right. Each tree needs to be its own layer and to parallax with each other. And it just doesn't look right now, so I don't include it. I think what I'm gonna do here, remove the cars, and KOF 12 and 13, one of the two, might have been 13, has actually this stage. And what they did is they had a street festival, so there's people, but there's like tents and stuff lined up down the street. So if I could draw some tents and then have a crowd of people up front, I think that would work. Yeah, this is Paris, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Kind of like make it interesting, you need to have another fight in the background, like in MK2 with the bridge, but you have to make animations for that, and it's a hassle. Yeah, you tried talking about the Sagat stage, right? That's actually kind of an interesting idea. If you had, say, like Adon and someone else. Well, Adon and Hua could have a match in the background. But again, you're right. The amount of animation work to make that actually work would be quite substantial. But it's an interesting idea. At least, yeah, you're right. You would have something more interesting to look at. With all the animation would kind of draw your attention away from the fact that the background's not fully realized. Was there rain in this stage in KOF 13? Is that what you're saying? Oh, that electric looks good too. Bzz, bzz, bzz. We're gonna have to have some sound effects added. Yeah, that would be good. Oh, alright. I hit the heavy button by accident. That's the one that doesn't work right now. Hello. What?
My vintage lamp still works and doesn't appear to be a fire hazard.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be. That's the Kentucky way.
It
looks all right. I looked at it for a second. It looked all right.
I'll have you know I went to public school here and I am doing great.
That's a miracle.
Not yours.
Oh, in MK2 it was rain. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. It's been a long time. I have not played, well, I'm not a huge fan of Mortal Kombat to begin with. I feel like, as a whole, the series is all style over substance, but I do remember playing the original ones, and them being decent, I guess. I do remember some of it, it's just been so long. I do notice sort of an oddity here, if you look at where the lightning is while he's on the left side. and then compare to when he's on the right side. I think they're slightly off. And I think I know how to fix it too. Remember when I said, oh, we don't need rotation? That was wrong. we do need rotation, because what that means is that if the character is rotated, meaning he's turned around, where is it here? Spawn rotation type, object rotation. That should fix it. Because that means if Ryu is turned around, you also need to turn around. So, okay. Still works alright on that side. Yeah, it's in the right spot now. Yeah, this looks much better now. It really looks like a threat. Like you know it's coming. Like, oh shit, he's charging. What do I do? Do I back away? Yeah, then you can back out of it. Oh shit, it looks really good. I'm really happy with the way this came out. Oh. Oh, I used the wrong button. That's fine. Yeah, or you could do like a training thing. Like, I don't know, maybe Sagat trains his fighters there. I'm not really sure what kind of location that's supposed to be. I don't really know anything about Buddhism or Thailand. I mean, I think it's a Buddha, right? It's a Buddha statue? But I don't know anything really about it. So I'm not gonna go on record and say, oh yeah, we're gonna absolutely have Sagat and his trainees out doing push-ups behind whatever this statue is, because I don't know. It could be like a historical landmark that they wouldn't allow that kind of activity, and I don't know enough about it to speculate. But, you know, if it was something that you could do, then sure, yeah, maybe. Like, I know he fights on it, but that's not the same as, like, being allowed to train there, you know what I mean? I know it's kind of like semantics at that point of how realistic do you want it to be, but I think it's important to have that kind of sense about it. Now, I say that full well as I have the Metal Slug character showing up at the Angkor Wat. I know it's complete hypocrisy for what I just stated, although, disclaimer, it is work in progress, and I just kind of put them in there to test the NPCs. They're not really, see, they're not gonna stay there. But Theo is in the background. But I'm gonna have them have their own stage eventually. That's the plan, at least. But I wanted to put them in the background as a test. And this was the only real jungle stage at the time, so it's like, okay, I guess we're just gonna put them here. Oh yeah, Ryu's got a lot of different fireballs here. So we got the normal Hadoukens as special, and stand back up. Okay, he's got the Denjins, which are his Power Max ability. They replaced the normal Hadoukens. He's got the I don't know how to pronounce it. Did I have it in the move list? I think I have it in the move list. And I'll try my best. I copied and pasted off of a wiki. No, I just said Hadouken EX. There's an actual specific name for the fire one. It's like Shunkuretsu Hadouken or something. That's the EX one. And it does It does actually light him on fire. Shakunetsu. Shakunetsu? Okay, that sounds about right. Shakunetsu. Shakunetsu. Yeah, alright. I'm learning. Alright. But yeah, he's got that as his EX, and that's because it's his EX in Street Fighter 3. So I wanted this Ryu to have some sort of feeling like he's the Street Fighter 3 Ryu. Especially with the way like the Shin Shoryuken is represented. But yeah, then so you can charge a level 2 Denjin, you can charge a level 3 Denjin, and that one guard breaks. So these ones 1 and 2 don't do it, but if you charge all the way, you get the guard break. And then there's the EX versions of that, which are currently broken because we just changed the animation for it. This is the only correctly working one, is the light punch version. But, you know, we'll update that. And then you've got the Shinku Hadouken, the level 2 version, or the 2-bar version, and then the 3-bar version, Shinku Hadouken. And we just updated those last couple weeks. So we've been really hitting hard on getting Ryu all spiffied up and looking cool. So the only thing, let's see. Yeah, he did have the fire Hadouken as a half circle forward. Yeah, he did have that. And in Alpha too, I believe. I think all versions of Alpha had the fire Hadouken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at least 2 and 3 had it. But in this case, I just wanted it to be noted as an EX. And then, I know I always talk about, I'm not going to talk about future characters beyond the first confirmed 8. Because it's, you know, one, I want to stay focused on getting, you know, the first 8 done first before I start thinking about anything else. And to kind of, you know, manage expectations or whatever. But let's be real, there's no way this game's going to avoid Akuma forever. So, thinking future design-wise, having Ryu have the EX Fire Hadouken, Ryu will not have it as a special, but Akuma will have his as a special, so it brings a little bit of a difference between the two characters. Yeah, gotta focus on what we've got going on first. If I can't get through the first 8, it doesn't matter who the next, you know, set are going to be. But, I mean, realistically, what kind of Street Fighter game can avoid adding Akuma at some point? You have to have a secret arcade boss. And who else better to fit the bill for the Capcom side of things than to have Akuma? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I know I don't talk about the other extended plans because I don't usually make the extended plans. I really don't. I don't have anything really decided. But come on, like, there's no way we're gonna get away with not having Akuma. You know what I mean? No, probably not Gil. Again, Akuma's the only one I'm going to admit to having thought about ahead of time. But there's no plans for Gil, and I don't expect Gil to be one of the characters considered. I think having too many boss characters, I mean, it's reasonable to expect Bison. You know, it's reasonable to expect Akuma, but Gil? Like, how many boss characters do you want? I mean, I'm not going to be able to work on this forever, and I'm also don't have unlimited resources to do so. So you have to think, how many characters can I reasonably get out before the project concludes anyway? And do you want to stuff it half with boss characters? Like, I wouldn't want to do that. So I would say, while it's not impossible, I wouldn't expect Gil to show up, especially not over a bunch of other characters. Nothing against Gil, just, you know. When people think of Street Fighter, they think of Bison as the boss, you know? So would I add Gil before Bison? No. Why would I do that? Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the Hadouken here. I think we did good work, and we actually completed something on one stream for once. Yeah, the SNK is a harder thing to say, oh, I'm definitely not going to have Geese, I'm going to have Regal, or I'm going to have Krauser. I don't know, nobody remembers Krauser anymore. Regal comes back a lot, Geese comes back a lot. I don't know. The NES guys were pretty crappy. I don't think people remember them, but when they think of like KOF boss, everybody thinks of like Geese and Regal. Yeah, they've got a ton. Like, they've got a lot of throwaway bosses. Like, they've got Verst, and they've got whatever the fuck was in 13. They've got like the stone guy from 2003. They've got the crazy pink rainbow dude from 12. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of forgettable throwaway ones. It's cool that they try to do a new boss every time, but you know, I don't know. Like, Orochi is the other big one, right? I mean, you could say I'm probably gonna kill the name, but since it sounds like Goemon, or it looks like it's spelled like Goemon, I suppose Goenitz, the guy with the wind, like, he's kind of cool. So you've got Regal, you got Goenitz, you've got Orochi, Osaki from 13. Okay. So you see what I mean? So it's not so cut and dry for the SNK side. You could say, oh, you know, like, Orochi kind of like makes sense as the secret boss because he's like the mystic, super powered thing like Akuma, and I probably would agree with that. I just haven't really thought much about it yet because we're not at that point, you know. Yeah, Kokudeska. Yeah, that guy with the wind did the Kokudeska. Yeah, that asshole. Like, he's cool. He's pretty iconic. People know him because he's such a lame son of a bitch. What was the alien bullshitter? Oh, he was from 2006, and that was Max Impact 2. So in America, they called it 2006. But yeah, it was Max Impact 2 that guy was there. I don't know if he was a real alien or not, but he had stretchy Dalsim arms, and he was really weird, and I didn't like him. But yeah, see, so it's like, okay, SNK's got like 400 bosses. Which one do you use? Or do you go super classic and be like, shit, we're gonna add Mr. Big, or maybe Mr. Karate is a secret boss like he was in SVC Chaos. So like, there's so many options. You know what I mean? So that one's not quite so cut and dry. That's where I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll think about that later. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's some that are more important than others. Geese is obviously a super heavy hitter. Everybody loves Geese. So, you know, he's got a pretty good probability, but again, I'm not going to commit to anything right now. It just kind of is what it is. Yeah, there you go, Final Fight. You hear the Final Fight song? Well, let's have some Mad Gear. You fight all the Mad Gear game. You fight the guy in the wheelchair. Belger, I think his name was, right? I'm not sure how to pronounce half these friggin' names, man. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna butcher the name again too. I think based on the way it is spelled, KOF 99's final boss was like Chrysalid or Chrysalid, something like that. He was kind of cool. He was pretty memorable. But Zero, Ignis, like they're there, but you know what I mean? Mukai was cool. He was from 2003, right? Isn't that the 2003 guy? Let's look it up. I thought he was cool. He was the stone guy, right? With the stone powers? I thought, because it was after the Ness saga ended, and then it was like, okay, we're getting back into the Orochi shit. And I like that stuff more, because it's more like the mystical kind of side of things. And I thought his design was cool. If that's who we're talking about. Yeah, that's him. Let's see. Make sure this is safe to bring on the screen first. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, this dude's cool. Look at him. This dude looks pretty cool, and he punches the ground, kicks the ground, and like shit comes out of the ground, like pillars and stuff. Look at it. Look at this fucking boss stage. This is pretty sick. Oh, here it is. Yeah, he like controls pillars. He's like a stone man. He's like some JoJo villain. Like, he's cool. I thought it was great. And then, dude, look at this. Look at this shit. This is awesome. Look at this guy. I guess that must be this. Let's look at Fighter's Generation. Let's see if he's got a page there. Fighter's Generation. Yeah, here we go. Fighter's Generation, always got the good shit. Yeah, look at this guy. This guy's sick. World of Warcraft, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck, no, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Yeah, look at this guy. This guy's sick as fuck. Look at these animations. This is good shit. Let's see. Trying to read through chat here. It's just Orochi in a dress. Shut up, it's cool. Yeah, leave me alone. Yeah, look at that shit. That's a sick ass background. It's got the snake. All the Orochi symbolism. I don't know. This guy's dead though, right? He's gone? I don't know. I got mad that he died. Yeah, I guess he's just gone. Now pocket style him. Somebody must have already, right? He's pretty cool though. I don't know. I mean, he only showed up in one game though, so like nobody remembers him. And 2003 was kind of a weird game anyway. So, hey, looks kind of like Yuri in here, right? Like it's, I don't know, was he a statue? It looked like he was a statue. And then the statue came to life here? That's what it looks like. That makes sense, because he's got that stone theme, right? Yeah, he's a statue. And I guess he embodied the statue? I don't know. Revive the guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much like story importance he has too. You know, I want to bring someone in who's got legacy, you know what I mean? Again, I've only got so many slots, so if I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a Regal, Geese, and Orochi. Again, how many bosses do you want? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. I think he's pretty cool. Oh, KOF All-Star's got every character and every iteration of every character. I still have to really play that, but I could never configure it with a controller properly. So I never really tried. And I know it's like grindy too, and I don't like the grindy shit. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, whatever, man. Did you get a good rating? I can't see because the fucking thing is in the way. Where's ad block? Oh, there we go. Now it's gone. Oh, yeah, he got a good rating. See? See? Fighter's Generation guy agrees with me. He looks fucking cool. Alright. And this must have been his character sheet. I don't know, he just looks cool. I like him. He got like those Roman sandals on. This must have been an earlier version of him. Oh, that's dumb. He's got a Majin Buu head in this one. It doesn't look too good. I don't necessarily like the art here, but like the face is kind of weird, but the rest of it's cool. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, Mukai, right? Mukai. Yeah, Mukai. Okay, that's his name. I just know he's the dude from 2003, and he's the stone guy. I remember people by attributes, not by names. Anyway, yeah. So the next step for me here is to get this version of the Denjin effects on all the types here. And for that to take place, I need to finish the coding changes on the command moves. Take Geese, outline, color him, and add glowing lines. Yeah, he does kind of have a similar stance to Geese, doesn't he? You're right. He does kind of have a similar stance. But yeah, so to summarize the key changes we made today, obviously there's more fancy effects on the Denjin when it charges. We changed the look of all the 3 levels of charge. We added little lightning things. And we also added another frame to the Hadouken animation for the bandana to fall down a bit more gracefully. On all of them. So given that, Hadouken X. It does remind you of Nightmare Geese, doesn't it? Yeah. And then adding the electric effect around the hands. That ended up really, really good. Better than I thought it would. And then now, you can hold it past the point of the full charge. So pay attention again to the amount of shocks that occur in Ryu's hands. For an uncharged, you get 1 shock. Look on the when he pulls his hand back. 1 shock is uncharged. 2 shocks is medium charge. 1, 2, 3 is full charge. But after the 3rd one, you see the 1, 2, 3, and you can hold it longer now. Looks like Ryu got a Buster upgrade. Kinda. So the difference here is that the level 3 does not fire immediately anymore. You can manually time it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, I did it just too slow. 3. 3. You can see visually when it gets to that 3rd level, but you can hold it longer. And to reiterate, the reason to do that is for this. Under certain circumstances, if you had timed it in a specific way, you could actually fire the full charged Hadouken before he got up. And I think that was when you did the EX charge. I don't think it was for the normal one. I think it was for this one. And it was in the corner here. Come on. Yeah, I'm hitting the button too early, I think. There we go. Yeah, that one caught, but sometimes it'll go so quick. You'll hit him just the right timing, and it'll go past him before he stands up. And of course, you don't want that. Yeah, you can backstep out of max charge. So that's normal there. Just see, get back out. As long as it hasn't fired, you can back out. So you can really screw with their head now. Yeah, it's reminiscent of the V-skill of Street Fighter V. And he could do it in Street Fighter Cross Tekken as well. And then I added the backdash because you've got rolling and like rolling wake-ups and shit. And it really would make it hard to legitimately pin someone down with it. So the idea here is if you do it, and you think they're going to do something else, like they're going to stand up and do a Shoryuken or something, you can backdash it and wait for their failed response, and then go in there and hit them anyway. So I felt that that was the way to do it with this. So the next step would be to replicate this using the new command move code to build in parameters into that prevent Ryu from having to have multiple animations to handle all the different variants between the light, the heavy, and the EX. So we'll have one animation, and then Ryu will get set up in the beginning, and he'll know whether it was a heavy activation, a light activation, and then through the charge animation, like we did, we built it so that it fires off events that changes the charge level to level 2, level 3, and then down here we can say, oh, if we were at level 3, do the full. At level 2, do the mid, otherwise do the uncharged one, the level 1. So getting all that into just 2 animations. So the charge and the release animation will have to have that extra bit of context, but I have to build that code, so it's not ready right now. So that's kind of my next step, and also to have a flicker or like a flash, like a blue flash effect on Ryu every time that one of those lightning bolts shows up. And that's just like we see here in Street Fighter 3. So notice when he's charging, the lightning bolt shows up and he flashes blue. It charges again and he flashes blue again. Charges to the 3rd level and he flashes blue again. And then when he actually fires it, he again flashes blue. So something of that nature. I might not copy it, frame for frame. But I think that effect makes a lot of sense. Because it corresponds with the lightning effect itself. So I want to get that in there. I mean, I could crudely implement it, but I want to try to implement it in a better way than that. And I think then it will really look like it's really good, like it's really threatening. I'll be honest, I'm not sure that it would absolutely need those flashes, but I want to try them and see how it works. I think it would feel more threatening for sure. Because you would see, Ryu starting to glow and shit, and you're like, shit. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna backdash cancel it? Is he gonna fake me out? Is he gonna release it early? Is he gonna go for the guard break? You know what I mean? Like that kind of player turmoil is good to make something feel threatening. And it's only a visual difference. It's just as threatening gameplay wise, whether it has all these effects or not. But it can really sell the threat level of something if it's flashier and shinier, Well, yeah, there's only so much that I can spend time on it with. Yeah, sure, I mean, you could make an entirely choreographed animation with the lightning going through all of his friggin' pupils in his eyes and out his hair and all that other shit, but there's only so much time to do, and I'm trying to do things that are reusable. So those little sparks on his hands are reusable. I can put them on the opponent when the opponent gets hit by it. You know what I mean? So I got to think economically about what I can reasonably get away with. Reveal it's actually 3D and rotate the camera. Yeah, that Xrd reveal. But I think that I think it's at the acceptable level where I don't have to technically add anything more. Like, it's serviceable, but I do want to try to experiment with a little bit more. Just because, why not? And it won't take much effort to add like palette flashes. I mean, we've already got them. Like, you see the flash here when you activate Power Max, or well, the alpha counters are disabled right now because I'm working on the move input code again, so they're disabled. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, you get flashes, of course, with the screen flashes, but I mean just like the character flashing here. I'm not really sure where else. Not sure where else there is a flash. At least not with Ryu. I want to do it on the parry there too. But I'm trying to think of a better way to manage all these effects. Like, I could manually implement them, sure, and just have like a serialized bool that, okay, if it's on, then the effect's on, and if it's off, then it's off. But it's getting unsustainable that way, code-wise. It's just very disorganized and doesn't feel very modular. So I'd like to be able to just like add a component or something and say, oh yeah, that one, yeah, that's the parry flash effect, and I can add it to anybody. Or that's the I don't know, that's the lightning effect, the lightning damage effect that I can add to anybody. You know what I mean? Something like that would be really nice. He actually hit me from there. It's funny. But yeah, so again, about the Denjin, you can hold it farther than the maximum charge, so it's up to you to time it. It does add a little more skill to the equation here, so you have to be careful, you know, with it. But it also, again, it increases the potential for other setups and for other moves and for other threatening things. So that's why I added that. But yeah, so I guess we've come to a sort of a natural conclusion to today's stream. I'm very satisfied with how it came out. I think it's looking good. We just need additional little touches. So I'm gonna grind out. I'm gonna save this version of the game, and if I can get the new code working for the character, then I will. I'll add that and try to finish that up. If I can't get that code working, then I'll just release this version on the Patreon, and then you guys can check it out for yourselves. So I'll try to finish up the code for it, but if it doesn't work, I'll just release the one you see right here, and then we'll go from there. I think that'd be the best way to handle it, and then you can see it either way, whether it gets finished or not, because I'm not 100% sure how much work and debugging is going to be to get the new move new command move special code working. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. We'll meet back next Monday, and that's going to be the 30th. So we'll here's the full schedule. Next Monday will be the 30th. Tuesday, that's tomorrow, Amber's gonna be playing Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG on Super Nintendo. Thursday, we're not doing Thursday this week. That's American Thanksgiving. I won't be around, so just cross that one out in your mind. And then Sunday, we got to pick a new game. We actually did finish Link to the Past on Sunday, so we have to figure out a new game to play on Sunday. So that's what's coming up. So thank you guys for watching. We've got again, Patreon. We do put the builds up there. So if you feel like supporting my personal efforts in this project, and then in this stream and all the other stuff, then do check that out. There's some other projects there too, and code samples, all that kind of stuff. And we've got names to read out. So super special thanks to Alex Smith, aka Zombie Killer. Got Miguel Tabasco, Mega Keo, Charles E. Baldwin, Awakened Emperor, Angel, Rui Luis, Uncle Roy, Mike Cruz, Taryn Williams, Corporal Chungus, Mike Bryce Nagoingum, AJ, Miles Griffin, Ben K, D-Money107, and LD Walker. Thank you guys very, very much. You guys enjoy your build. It'll be out in a couple days probably, and we'll go from there. So yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. We got Discord, links down below. Unless Scrubbot's still alive, probably dead. Are you live, Scrubbot? Let's see. Nope, Scrubbot's dead. So links down below. You can catch me on Twitter at MarkDWiz. And that's pretty much it. So come on back next time, y'all, and we'll do some more work on the game. So thanks again for hanging out, and I'll see you guys later. Scrub out.